technically, I shouldn't really do a talk about this because after all, I am 1 week late for this. So if anybody do watch this, they're probably gonna ask, why do you even bother to do if you're so late? Well, for the beginning, I didn't want to do a talk about this because I found it just so stupid when I read it. But then I read some others' comments, and of course, they all say the same thing. But I'm still trying to. So in the end, I decided, I'm 1 week late with this, so I just need to get this off my chest, even though I know no one's gonna watch it. Because, well, for 1 week ago, I think, there were some, around the 20th of August, or maybe what, the 27th, who knows. It was an article that was not coming from America, mind you, which is very strange. Well, it's Anime News Network, anything comes from there. What was strange was this was Japan apparently ranking their top 10 most hated anime heroines. I mean, female heroes. And I read that list, and it was shocking. It was actually only one person on that list people have agreed should have been on that list, but she should have been highest. I still don't exactly know why, even though I know why. And yet, you have to ask yourself, why? I expected this out of America, but not out of Japan. Have they really this? I mean, I know it's gonna sound. Well, I don't want to say that word because then someone is going to accuse me from that. So I'm gonna leave it out. But it still sounds actually controversial for me, who's not a Japanese, saying to them that they must have shitty taste, or are they saying they don't like them because of their flaws? Because all of these characters do have some kind of flaws. Is that why? All in all, I'll tell you a little bit quickly who they are. The number 10 is Kokomi Teruashi from The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. Why is she on this list? Well, I haven't really seen that show, although I have read it, and yeah, it's only a gag show, only comedy. And I think she's on this list because, well, she's obsessed with the main character who's a psychic and a bored one, so I guess they don't like her very much. Number 9 is Medaka Kurukami from Medaka Box. Why is she on this list? She has big breasts, is very proud, and has some very amazing strength. So why is she on this list? Is it just because of her deep voice? Or is it because the way she is so perfect that she didn't stuck with animals from the beginning? Number 8 is someone called Shiaki Nanase from Roku Denashi Blues. Haven't seen this. I only read a little bit about it. Seems like this lady was a friend of the main character. So why is she on this list? Is it because they just didn't like her always clinging to this main character? But it's only after 5 that things really start to big. Number 7 is Sakura Haruno from Naruto. It's technically the only one people have said should have been on this list. I know why she is on this list, but at the same time, I don't know why. Why is Sakura on this list? Why is she so flawed? Is it because she was so obsessed with Sasuke? Is it because for all her action packed she was at the beginning and the end? Is it just because she just keeps being obsessed with the same guy from the rest of it all? Is it because she has an annoying voice? Is it because of all the other characters she doesn't develop much? Is it because Hinata Hyuga is a better developed character than her? Or is it just because she didn't answer the main character's feelings? Or is it just because in the beginning she was just so flawed? Don't know, but America really, really dislike Sakura. My mom, I feel pity towards the English dub actress because after all, can't be easy voicing a character who's that disliked. Then number 6 is Surara from Oikawa from Nura Rise of Yokai Clan. I only seen some episodes, not really stuck on it. Mostly I think it's because of that fox. But she looks adorable. Isn't she adorable? She seems like that typical attendant with a strong sense of what's that word, loyalty and stuff. So why is she on this list? Is it because she's too relied on the main character, perhaps? And after that, things really start to shock. Number 5 is Kagura from Gintama. Here is where people really started to get angry. Kagura, what makes her such a false character? She's strong, she doesn't have so much big breath, but she's adorable. She has strength, she developed, and she was voiced by Rea Kugiyama before she only decided, well, not only, but before she mostly decided to do young boys. I dislike her male voice because someone who sounds this adorable as Kagura, why is she hated? Is it because she's so malish in her way of talking? Is it because she's puking all the time? Or is it because, well, for all her adorableness and her character development, she's still not really that evolved? Number 4, Misa Amane from Death Note. Be honest, I have not seen Death Note. Why? Because, well, I dislike those kind of shows. But I do know about Misa, someone who's obsessed with the main character like Yagami. And, well, she's crazy. And if there's something we have learned from the recent shows is that people love crazy. After all, it's the only thing the of Academy Awards will give, because they just love crazy characters. So why is she so flawed? Is it because she talks so childishly? Is it because she's stuck with Light Yagami, although he obviously has not a single interest in ladies in more ways than one? And or is it just because, well, her character is all around Light Yagami, and if it wasn't for her fuck ups, many things would have gone other with the story. Number 3, actually, I'm the only one who's not surprised by this. It's Erina Naikiri from Food Wars Shogeki no Soma. Now, if it had been Megumi Tagodokoro on that list, then I wouldn't have shocked. But I'm not surprised Erina is on that list. Why? Because it's only until recently that I'm beginning to like her. Granted, her tsundere personality and her comedic moment with the main character is so adorable, because I love tsundere girls a bit, because they just make it some kind of impression. But Erina was not likable up until recently, at least not to me, because then we realized that beneath that haughty, arrogant, and very talented face is a young, fragile girl that just wants to have friends. And that made her adorable and more likable, so I cannot really see why they dislike her now. Number 2 is Shitoke Kirisaki. I have from Nisekoi. I have not seen Nisekoi either. As I just said, I love tsundere girls, and this girl was, I think, after the for tsundere girls, was one of the biggest tsundere girls ever. And again, I have not seen so much of the show because I didn't really feel it was that interesting. But this girl is all tsundere. And although that can be a bit distracting, maybe that's why they didn't like her. She was too distracting in her tsundere. She is still very cute in that way, and she is pretty to look at. And number 1 is the biggest shock. It's Ushako Uraraka from My Hero Academia. I mean Boku no Hero Academia. Why is she number 1? People say Sakura should have been number 1, but Ushaku, is the number 1. Why is she the number 1? In fact, I'm also seriously asking, why is she number 1? Is it because they feel like she's turning into a new Sakura? They don't feel she is too developed yet? They feel like she's getting too love struck with the main character? Spoilers. And and they feel, or they feel like she's all bark and no bite. Don't they feel like she's developed enough? They don't think she is just too much important in the story, or do they feel like she will do some kind of evil switch? I mean, Ushako for me is adorable. She maybe not have a very big body, but that's she doesn't need to. Even though I criticized the voice when I first heard it, when not heard it when I cast it, mostly because I've heard what she has voiced before. She has a very adorable voice. She's very adorable to everyone else. She's even adorable when she does things. She's not a tsundere girl. Well, she may tell tsundere for her feelings, but and she's very kind. She's just a bubbly, very kind and pretty young girl. So why is she the most hated? This is mostly the 10th hated one. I mean, if people had put Lucy on this list, I would have understood a little bit better. I mean, Lucy from Fairytale. Why? Because, well, people can just never shut up about Fairytale criticizing. I mean, after I just know that the next Fairytale chapter is released, it's gonna lose so many readers, and the hate is just gonna be so strong. So I'm pretty sure many people wanted Lucy on this list, and other characters that could have been flawed. What about that girl from Neo Genesis? Isn't she too psychopathic for this? Shouldn't she have been on this flaw? So in fact, uh, why do Japan rank these female heroines as the most hated? Why? That is actually the question we need to ask ourselves. Because all of these characters do have flaws, and I think from just those flaws that people go on them. But there's something I have learned after reading Comic Con's most hated manga from Black Clover, which, by the way, was American, not Japanese. I have learned recently that people's taste is shit. Or more like maybe people's taste are not shit, but it's just that now I'm gonna be very serious here. 2017 is not gonna be a good year for us. I just know it. Why? Because I just have a feeling that people's stupidity gets stronger. People call me stupid for always hanging on Fairytale, but that's because someone needs to. Because after all, it's the only show that still ranks the hope that no longer exists in the real world. Nowadays, people vote for the wrong person for the wrong reasons. So I just know the taste is just gonna go down, 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 down from this. But if anything, I wanted to know, why are these most hated? What do you think if you ever saw this?